Hey everybody, I'm on my way to Key West. I hope you stay safe today. I'll be there this weekend showcasing some cool stuff. Stay safe. I'm on the road and I'll keep you posted. So I checked in and gosh, there's hardly anyone here. Look behind me and look the other way. They still have the Halloween decorations up, but this is the beginning of an 18-hour day. See you on the other side.
After 17 hours of flying, I finally see my destination. I peek out the side window and I see Stock Island and Christmas Tree Island and Mallory Square. Those are familiar places that I go to, except they look a lot different from the air. There's a little cold front coming in, so the weather's kind of turned. It's a little bit windy. But I'm curious to see, after a year of not being here, what Key West is like after COVID. The last time I was here was Fantasy Fest, and that was quite a show. If you've ever been there, you know that it makes Key West what it is, and uniquely different.
Now to go to the hotel and sleep. So after a little nap, I'm making my way down here to Duval Street. It's kind of amazing how many businesses are closed. It's not surprising, and also you can kind of tell how people are. Some people are wearing masks, some aren't, but in the establishments like the hotel, you have to wear a mask, and in the also restaurants. But look at this block right here, all closed up. Welcome to the new Key West. I've been here forever. No, tell me about it.
Like Walfridos.
Oh yeah.
What I always get is the boat. It's got everything on it.
Okay, sunset roll for Jonathan here. There he is. There that is. We got the garden. We're protected by that big plant and the fence, and we're outside and people are far away from each other. That's how we like it. Plus there's also a storm coming from the lower part of the Gulf. It's going to clean up.
On my walk home, I look for more subject to paint, and this is the iconic Irish Kevin's. After being in lockdown and stuck in Hawaii for almost 8 months, it's kind of odd to see people in a bar with live music, because Waikiki hasn't opened up like that yet. But Key West is in a league of its own. I usually enjoy people watching and listening to the music as I walk by. And here, the iconic bull with the Garden of Eden in the top and a bunch of interesting bars at the kitty. So today is day 2, and I caught the sunset. The wind died down long enough so that I could take a little flight out and see the sun on Sunset Key. Funny thing, the sunset started out very normal, but then right in the middle of it, the sky split in two. It was as if half the sky was in shadow and half the sky was in light. I'd never seen anything like that before, but I guess it could be said about the current conditions and times. It's the same sky, but it's all depends on how you see it. At the end of the day, if you can get a little light in the dark and dark in the light and a different perspective, then it makes for a much better sky. I hope your days are great. Make the best of them, because in the end, you never get it back.
So as I'm driving away from Key West, I'm thinking about the show. It was a really good show for what it was. First of all, I hadn't been in front of anybody for a long time, about 8 months since the lockdown in Hawaii. So
it was good to get out and meet the folks again under, of course, new circumstances. I was very proud to release the new line of the koa reproduction frames, and also the new line of live edge koa frames. Those went really well. One of my favorite pieces and a new series is the bungalow series. It feels like I want to get away, and that would be a great place to go to. So I did one on a surfboard, and I did one on in one of the reproduction frames. That went well. Being that a lot of collectors decided not to go to the show because Eta, the Hurricane Eta, was headed that way, and most people were battening down the hatches and trying to get things all set up. So that part kind of diminished a little bit of the impact of the show, but at the same time, it was one of the best shows that I had. A little bit of the classics went. Of course, the Lullaby and the Emerald Dreams, Tropical Therapy. I'm pretty sure that these galleries will sell that out by themselves. What else? Start of a Perfect Day. That was a pretty interesting sale because he had just bought another artist's work which is similar to that, and because I was there and the salesperson did a wonderful job presenting, he ended up adding a similar piece, which is mine, to his collection. And one of my favorite encounters was a lady who bought a surfboard 11 years ago, and this was back when I was doing brand new surfboards, and she had a problem with the delivery because the company kept delivering it unpacked and just kind of by itself in the board. So after the third delivery, she had canceled it, and so that kind of ruined that program for me. And years later, I run into her and I get to tell her, hey, you're the lady that killed that program. But ever since I started painting on the recycled boards, she still wants the same image. And so 11 years later, she commissioned me to do the same exact painting. So that was a interesting closure to a 360-degree sale that happened 11 years ago. I even sold one of the koa reproduction frames to this couple who lives in a motorhome. I guess they did well, sold their business, now they travel where they want, but space is super limited. So to be a piece of art in a motorhome, a 40-foot motorhome, is pretty cool, knowing that even though you don't have the traditional wall setup, you still want to do as much as you can and show as much as you can. So I'm proud to be in that collection. Anyways, I think I got some good reference pictures to continue my night scenes. I went back to where the Commodore was. It's a new restaurant now, but the rain provided beautiful reflections. So I've gotten at least 3 or 4 more subject matters to continue my series. I also was able to fly my drone in between the 30 mile per hour up to 60 mile per hour gusts, and got some good aerial footage of Key West just for the intros and the B-roll, so my YouTube channel will stay interesting. But all in all, that was great. I am headed over to Sarasota now and give them some aloha and share the new series with them. I look forward to it, and I'll keep you guys posted. After a fantastic show in Key West, I decide to hunker down and ride out one day of storm. From there, I drive up to Fort Lauderdale and check out the streets. Behind me is the old Wyland Gallery spot. What a difference a few years makes. It's no longer, but it's something else. Another gallery's in town. And of course, one of my favorite restaurants, Noodles. Not going in there because too many people, too crowded, so gotta find other places. Alright, so I'm on my way to Sarasota, and funny thing, that Hurricane Eta is still hovering. So it missed us in Key West. It kind of demolished Lauderdale a little bit. And then I got to Lauderdale, saw the damage. And then it hovered through Key West while I was gone. And now it's going up to Tampa to Sarasota. So I'm not really too worried because it isn't as organized as it could be. But boy, this thing is following me all over the place. It's raining right now. Anyway, on the road again. Here we go. As I drive through Alligator Alley, the remnants of Eta is still around. Light gray clouds with some seriously dark clouds ahead of me. Seems I can't escape this thing. Well, I head over to my buddy's house, Guy Vincent, who is the owner of the gallery, and hunker down. Alright, so I made it to Guy's house, and this is what I drove through. I don't know if you really can see it, but we're talking about 25, 30 mile per hour winds, gusts, but heavy, heavy rain. Heavy, heavy rain. I'm glad I made it, and I'm not going anywhere else. Right, buddy boy?
Got it.
The next day was pretty easy. Got up, and before I went to the gallery, I decided to do a little droning. I've always wanted to see Sarasota from the sky, and there's some really good spots here, including the harbor. Makes me feel like a bird when I see these videos and how they may influence my perspective on how I look at Sarasota and possibly future paintings. Alright, so I arrived in Sarasota, and this is my hotel view for the 4 days that I'm here. Hurricane or tropical depression, storm Eta has passed, and I'm gonna wait for it to get a little less humid, a little less windy, and I'm gonna go out and do some droning. But meanwhile, relaxing and watching my favorite sport before going into the gallery today. That's how it's done. Boom. Okay, first sunset here in Sarasota, looking pretty nice. I see a bucking horse, and oh, I also see koi fish and a dragon. So this is good cloud play here, and then that sun is just doing some marvelous things right out in the horizon. It's kind of peeking through one side of the cloud and giving light to the other, where little baby one balancing. Yesterday we had tropical storm Eta come through here and dump a lot of rain, almost 6 inches. But today people are resilient and taking advantage of beauty and nature while they can, as am I. Well, this is my setup for today. I've got some new fun works that I worked on while I was in Hawaii, and then I've got representation of New York, let's see, St. Pete Bridge, Pheasant Wood, Beautiful surfboards and the Wall of Aloha. And here we are. See you soon. This show was one of my most successful shows ever at this gallery. I had no idea what I was in for, as I had not done a show in over 8 months during the lockdown. But it turns out that folks still need their art. Art provides a place for people to escape to, memories that they can live by, and objects of beauty that they can treasure. I sold a little bit of everything from the new releases to old classics, koa wood pieces, and met many fine collectors. I wish every show could be like this, but you never take for granted the people that come and pay a visit and collect the treasures that will help define their best moments in their lives. So here I am with my coconut, and voila, I am greeted by this beautiful sunshine, and this gentleman right here has the honor of living with us every day. I am just a spectator. Cheers. Chris and Tracy made a huge impact on the show. They had picked up several pieces, and we had the pleasure of hanging it in their home. They even bought the largest piece of koa I had ever brought to a show and helped paint it. And in the end, they were super happy, and so was I. So this is the aftermath of the show. What a show. Crazy. So many people came out. I want to thank everybody who came, found their awesome piece, and dropped off some spirits, like this beautiful bottle from Greece. This is, every artist can relate to this little table right here, this traveling mess, but we all have our own versions of it. So, with that being said, aloha. One more day, and we finish this soiree. Alright, so we've been invited to go on a morning sail. I don't like the word morning, but here we are. It's a beautiful day. It's not so wavy and crazy. And waiting to see which one of these beauties we're riding on. Well, there she is. This is what we're going to be on right now. Alright, so we're inside. This is a nice little air-conditioned area. Lovely. Got little things. Oops.
That's the only reason she showed back up. To get her Okay, I had a request. We're on this day.
There's the master.
Left and right on both sides. Additional bedrooms with bathrooms.
It's probably going to be down this way.
That's pretty cool. Pretty cool. This looks like the office.
I'll get it taken photos.
Yeah.
I'll get it for you later.
Yep. And we're back. Not a bad day. Here we are. We are not shanghaied. We are here by our own admission. And there's Tyler. And we are going to cruise the bay. This is it. At first, I was a little hesitant on going on this boat ride because he first said it was at 8 a.m. And those who know me know that, hey, I like my sleep, but they pushed the date or the time back to 10 a.m. and that made it more palatable. At the end of the day, there's nothing better than getting a morning breeze through your skin, feeling the sun, and this was the perfect way to end the show series. So it's the end of my tour. That was 2 weeks of Florida, starting out in Key West, middle of the tour in Fort Lauderdale, and then ending with a bang in Sarasota. As I speak, I am driving over to Tampa International so I can catch a flight to Houston and then go to Hawaii. Lots happened. So I hope you guys enjoyed this little tour diary kind of insight. It's not every day that you get to see what goes on when you're traveling and selling art, especially during this crazy time, but I enjoyed sharing it with you. Keep an eye out for more adventures and travels as I take you on the road. This is Walfrido signing out. Peace, aloha, and see you on the next tour. Bye-bye. This is it. This is the line. That's where they check out your code and let you through. Well, I made it back and ahead of time and schedule. Here's my luggage. That was an awesome tour. Can't wait to do it again, but I'm going to give myself a little time to enjoy my birthday and the holidays. Aloha. Of all the years that I traveled, it's always nice to come home to Hawaii. Some may take it for granted who spend their whole lives here, but when you see the beauty of the other places that I get to travel, then it makes coming home that much sweeter. The land of rainbows, sunshine, beautiful waves, gorgeous scenery. It's a treasure to be able to call Hawaii home. Maybe one day you'll get to come and visit us here if you haven't already. And if you have, can't wait to see you at our galleries here in Hawaii. Until next time, aloha. See you on the road.